Well, hey there. This is Curley with Curley's Chicken Ranch. Normally we talk about chickens, but you've seen, if you visited the previous uh, 4 or 5 videos, we're installing a solar electrical system on our house to provide some electrical when our power goes down, or just to feed certain circuits in the house on a regular basis. So that's where we're at today. It is another warm Texas day, normal Texas weather. Um, so we're gonna take a look at some things, and then take you on the inside of the house and kind of show you. Unfortunately, I didn't do any filming as far as the assembly of this inside the garage, but because it was just so stinking hot, I just didn't want to do it. But I'm gonna give you a rundown of it, just to kind of do a quick show you on this. That's our solar panels. We got them on the house. We have remember we purchased six 305 watt panels, 44 volt panels, I believe. And we went ahead and wound up installing 3 of them on the house. We got them hooked up in series, so they're pushing around 115 to 120 volts, with about 8.5 amps. So we were able to run 10 gauge wire with this, due to we kept the amps low, but we boosted up the voltage. So everything's wired, everything's hooked up, everything's ready to go up here. Still may add one more panel to this string, not for sure. Just have to kind of check this in the winter time, because I don't want to overpower the system. Remember, these panels work better in the cold and not in the heat. So we will not increase a 4th panel on this setup until we get this all tested in the winter time. So I'll take you on the inside now. Okay, back inside the house now. Show you basically what we did as far as our hookup in here, as far as our solar system. Remember, that's not the plan, that's the electrical system. Showed you the 3 panels up on top of the roof. By the way, it's still hot here in Texas. It's in August. So I still do have, that's the inverter just not kicking on. It does that from time to time. Also, it's got to at least reach, I think, 1,000 or 1,500 watts being pulled out of it before the fan cycles. So in case you do buy this GIANDEL 4000, 8000 pure sine wave converter, in case you buy that and you plug it in and you start running something electrical, just because the fan doesn't turn on, it doesn't mean it's not working. Okay, the fan will not turn on unless it hits at least 1,000, 1,500 watts being pulled out of it. And also, even if you're not pulling that out, it may cycle from time to time, even though the lower voltage coming out. But so just because the fan doesn't run all the time, doesn't mean that it's broken. Okay, so that should shut off here in a second. Showed you the panels on the roof. I've got 3 panels up there right now. 3 panels that are rated 305 watts. These are used panels that are purchased for $80 a piece. These are actually on a grid time system, where you sell electricity back to the provider. But I bought them at 80 bucks a piece. I bought 6 of them. And I'm using them for our basic hybrid system, as you can tell, our battery system, for our system for inside the house. So the panels are wired inside, on top of the roof. They're wired in series. So when you're wired in series, the voltage changes each time you hook up a panel. You add the voltages, but the amperage stays the same. If you hook them up in parallel, the voltage remains the same, doesn't matter how many panels you got, but the amperage doubles each time you put a panel up. Or not doubles, but it'll, for every panel, if you got a 10 amp panel, and you put 3 panels up and you wire them in parallel, they'll wind up being 30 amps, and then the voltage remains the same. But so as I've got them, they're running around, I think they're about 8 amps or so open circuit, and they're about 40, I think 42, 44 volts open circuit as far as the volts. So right now they're bringing in the neighborhood, when the sun is at its peak, it's coming in at about 110 to 115 volts, but the amps will never climb above around 8 because I hooked them up in series. So because of that, I only had to run 10 gauge wire because I'm only pushing 8 amps. And actually probably I could have used 12, but I did 10. Okay, so that's it for that. The second thing is, as you can see, this is everything we talked about when I did open boxing on the parts. I've got an EP Ever 40 amp MPPT charge controller, which is really good. Great heat sink on it. I've got the controller, the MT50 that comes with it, and I'll show you the different things it'll display, but it monitors everything, the whole system as far as the solar outfit. Then I went ahead and bought a Connecticut Electric transfer switch. Okay, so what I did, I went ahead and the way I got this thing wired now, I've got 5 different circuits. I'm only using half of this board right now, right in here. And on this, it's got this is actually for a generator backup, but I use it for solar. So it's got like a rocker switch on it. You match it one way, it feeds the generator or solar in this case. The other way it says line. So I can have it powered either through the normal electrical system on a circuit or through the solar or battery backup. Okay, so I'm only using half of it right now because this is actually a 240 box or 220 box. So I'm only using half the side. The same thing like when in a house box, in a house breaker panel, you've got 110 circuits and you've got 220 circuits. Well, 220 is coming into your house. It's split off so you can run either 220 or 110. So 220 appliances like stove, air conditioning, water heater, things like that, and then 110 circuits are lighting, electrical outlets in your walls. So I've got this run. I've got the power, and it's a really easy wiring diagram from Connecticut Electric on this. It basically has, for every switch, it has like 2 wires that comes out. One you wire into the load side of your electrical panel box, and 1 wire goes to the feed side, to your circuit. And so it sounds kind of technical, and I'm not going to give you everything on it because you should read the instructions, but if you're not comfortable doing this, get an electrician. Okay. So the main thing is I want to show you is, because I had this transfer switch up, I can either use it online, which is power coming into the house, or if we lose power, or if I just want to run circuits 24/7 just on solar, I can do that with this box. This box, like I said, has rocker switches. It also has mini breakers in it. So if there's an overload, the mini breakers will kick. Also, if you notice here, if you can see it, right here, it has a watt meter. So on each leg, on each line, or each leg power feed on this box, as you turn on circuits, it'll show you the watts that you're using to make sure that you don't go past the 4,000. If you go past 4,000, you will kick some breakers in here. The circuits that I have in the house, I have the microwave on a circuit, I have the refrigerator on a circuit, and I have 3 different rooms on the circuit. One's the master bathroom in case we lose power. Wife's got to have power. So all the lighting, closets, vanity lighting, bathroom lighting is all on one circuit. The second circuit is the master bedroom, which operates all the plugs. We can watch TV. Got to watch TV if the power goes out. Okay, all the electrical outlets, the TV, and overhead lighting. Another circuit, it feeds the whole living area. It operates the TV in there, of course. Okay, the outlets around the perimeter of the living room. Also, it feeds the circuits in the overhead lighting in the kitchen area, and then over the sink area. And then also on that circuit, I don't know why the house is wired like this, but that circuit also feeds the exterior lighting on the back of the house. So even when power goes out, I've got my perimeter lighting in the back of the house, which is really good for security. Okay, so, and I tested it, and it's a good thing to do if you do this also, is I went around and I turned every circuit on that I could find in this. I mean, with the refrigerator running, I mean, not just plugged in, but refrigerator cycling, the microwave cycling, all the lights on, everything plugged in that's normally plugged in, all the lighting on, the TV's on, bathroom fans on. In other words, everything running as much as possible. And checked and saw the watt draw. The watt draw, even with the microwave on, was running around about 3,200 watts. Okay, so it's below the 4,000. And bear in mind, this pure sine wave inverter is 4,000 watts continuous, and it's 8,000 watts surge. So we're plenty below that. And bear in mind also, when I had everything on, I doubt that everything would ever be on at the same time in the future. This was just to double check the system, make sure it would handle the load, and it performed perfectly. Everything was fine. No lights flickered, no nothing. So these are two Battle-Born batteries. They're rated 100 amp hour batteries, but I've got them wired up in series. Okay, so in series they wind up being 24 volts, and with 24 volts times 100 amp hours, so we wind up having around 2,400 amp hours of battery storage. And I understand this is not enough storage to do this thing 24/7 even on a cloudy day. But these Battle-Born batteries are so good that I have run those five circuits for the past 4 days on this, and the amperage of the batteries have I'm sorry, the volts of the batteries have not dropped below 25 volts. And I said that's with everything running. So at night before I go to bed, I would check it, and it would be somewhere around 25 volts. So these two Battle-Born batteries are unbelievable. I mean, they're fantastic batteries. They're pricey, but they have a 10-year warranty on them. You've got to bear that in mind. But they're fantastic. Matter of fact, I'm going to wind up going with two more, maybe four, so then I'll have 4,800. Even though two have handled this thing 24 hours a day, but I've had sun every day. So I've got a plan on in case I have a cloudy day or rainy day coming this winter time. So I'll go with four Battle-Born batteries, and then I'll have 4,800 watts, okay, which will last at least 2 days, maybe 3 days, because in case I don't have sunshine or something. Okay, so that's where I'm at right now. It's got the Giadel 4,000, 8,000 surge inverter, the Connecticut electric transfer switch box, which is, I was going to just do some manual switching on it, but you know, I think for house insurance and everything else, I needed to do that. The EPPT 40 amp solar charge controller, and then the MT50 that came with it as far as the programming of it. One thing I have not done that I need to do, even though I live out in the country, but I need to have a energy cutoff. So I will be basically using what's called, if you look at the back of your house or by the side of your house where you have your air conditioner, there's a small box that you open it up. There's like a plate you pull out, and it kills the power to the air conditioner. And some of these are 60 amp breakers or circuit killers. So I'm going to wire those in, and I'm going to wire in my solar panels on one side, and then the feed out of the inverter that feeds the box here, I'm going to also put that in there. So if we ever have a fire, or if there's ever a problem, I'll put a sign above the box that says solar energy disconnect. So if a fire department comes in, cops come, whatever it is that they need to kill the power on the house, remember the first thing to do is they kill it at your pole, at your transformer. Well, even if they kill it at the transformer and you got this set up and you got it on solar switch correctly, you still got power inside the house. So they need to be able to come to the side of your house where your power meter is, and when you have this clearly labeled, okay, so they can go ahead and pull that out and kill the solar feed and kill the inverter feed, so then that there's not an accident with someone coming in the house to do something. Okay, so I still have to do that. The boxes have been bought. I just need to get it wired, and I know I need to do it quick. So, okay, that's pretty well as far as wiring this. I would love to have shown you this as I actually put everything together, but it was so stinking hot that I was dripping so bad, and everything went fine as far as the install, but I didn't want to mess with the camera. I'm sorry. If you have questions, you can ask me that. Now what I'm doing now is this has been up and running about 4 or 5 days, and everything's been working flawlessly. I mean, flawlessly. The thing is now is, being out here in the country, we have a well, and so far we have a 110 system. The next thing will be to do basically duplicate everything that I've done here, okay, except for the transfer box, and put in another inverter on the other side. So I'm going to kind of have a yin-yang effect here, you know, or as my yin-yang effect. My wife always fusses about that. That way I'll be able to run another 110 line up into this box, and when that happens, then I can have two breakers basically connected together to create 220 volts that'll power the well pump. And there goes the inverter again. So that's going to be the next test. Like I said, I've got 3 more panels, and I've already ordered 1 more controller that's going to be here actually today, getting it in a day from Amazon. But I'm going to order 1 more inverter, 2 more Battleborn batteries, hook up a mirrored system on the other side. Once that happens, we should be able to pull and run the well pump when we need to. That way we'll have water. We'll be able to cook with the microwave. We'll have lighting inside the home, TVs to watch, perimeter lighting, and I'll still have, I think, 3 more circuits that I can hook up to 110, which will be anything else I want to add inside the house. Remember, the best thing to do is get your house as energy efficient as possible. I did all LED lighting, so it pulls very, very little amps as far as just the lighting itself. So everything's working fantastic. So that's about it. So I will be ordering the components to do another mirrored system, but stay tuned because there's 2 more projects I'm going to work on. One is going to be, I'm looking at the possibility of installing right now we have a whole house air conditioning system, you know, HVAC system in the house. But I want to be able to bring something in that'll run off of solar. I don't know how that's going to work, and I don't know how long the battery's going to last. Remember, I'm going to go to 4 batteries on each side, which is a chunk of money, but remember, 10-year warranty, and they work flawlessly. The plans and the hopes are is to go ahead and run a split ductless system in our master bedroom. So in case we have issues, we can at least retreat to 1 room in the house and have air conditioning, even if it's temporary kind of thing. I found those at I believe at Home Depot, and they different systems, and they pull like 5 or 6 amps. So that actually may work. The second thing is hot water heating. The hot water heating in your house is, we have a electric home, so it's a 220 heater, and for sure you never want to do something as far as solar on a 220 volt hot water heater, even if you're doing what I'm doing, converting over to a 220 leg in your transfer switch box. The reason is, a hot water heater is the worst consumption of energy you're ever going to find, because basically you're taking a positive and a negative, connecting them together to create a short. The short heats up an electrode or something like that inside your hot water tank, and that's what heats the water. So it's a direct short. So it'll drain your batteries almost instantly. But I did find one, and I heard of one, and I still got to research this out. And I'm not even going to spoil it. I'm going to get you that on another video, okay? But continue to watch and follow us. Hit the subscribe button. Like, ask questions, whatever you want to do. But I got some cool stuff happening on this. I said this is basically, we're calling Suburban Solar at Curley's Chicken Ranch, and we'll catch you later.